Hello YouTube, it is Chris here, and in today's episode we're going to be discussing proper Woodsman's tools. If you're joining us for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our new episodes or our daily giveaways. Additionally, make sure you hit that notification button so you don't miss anything. Also, we have a new round of our Amazon gift card giveaways, and to enter, you need to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. We also pick winners in the very next episode, so if you enter on this particular giveaway, you'll find out who the winner is on the very next episode. For those of you who follow us on social media, you'll notice that we discovered the beauty of the Woodsman's Trifecta. Basically a knife, a folding saw, and an axe. And as I stated in that previous video, which was my 96-hour blackout grid down survival kit, I always played off the role of having a really big knife and also having a folding saw. When it comes to a really big knife, just take your pick. And all kidding and jokes and humor aside, for anybody who is new to the outdoors, new to prepping, new to bugging out, new to creating survival kits, I will tell you off the rip, if you can invest in the Trifecta, I would tell you to do so. Now, these knives, the saws, and the axes are visual representations of what I feel are good appropriate sizes and tools to use. Now, any of these tools can be traded out for various brands, and if you're curious about those alternative budget-friendly brands, if you're on a tight budget, definitely gonna have those linked down in the video description so you can check those out. But for me, realistically, these are some of the cream of the crop. These are some of the best you can get. Given the methodology that they're very highly mobile, they fit into packs, bug out bags, and they're not ever going to replace like a full-on felling axe or anything like a big huge katana boy or a chainsaw. These are very mobile base camp style tools that are very good in a survival situation that will definitely help you process wood, build a shelter, build a campfire, get some security laid down very quickly and efficiently. Right in the background, we have my Hulksbrook Anaby. And this is the very same size as the Grand Force Brooks Small Forest Axe. Now, the Anaby has an 850 gram head, which is very close to 2 pounds. It's 1 3/4 pounds. They have a 19 to 20 inch handle. They come with a mirror polished edge. I mean, it's so freaking shiny, I can barely show you. This one's already been used several times, but this thing is razor sharp. This thing literally shaves paper. It is scary how sharp these are. It's very impressive. If I find myself in a situation where I'll be bugging out, I would bring the Anaby all day long, due to the fact that the slightly heavier head will be able to help me swing in and bite in harder into the wood. I have more leverage because of the 19 to 20 inch handle, and a variety of situations I'll be able to actually fell trees if, let's say, my saw blades broke, anything like that. Moving forward, we have the Silky Big Boy 2000. Like I said, this is like the most popular really large folding saw on the planet. It's got a 14.2 inch saw blade on it, and this thing is a monster. Without scaling all the way up to the Katana Boy 500, this thing is the smallest folding saw you can get that will actually cut down full-size trees, given the fact that they're no wider than about 11 inches in diameter, because after that, it's going to be a little too much for this thing to chew. But the reason why it's so popular is the fact it's about 50 bucks all day long, and given the fact that it is very highly portable. The fact that it can fit into something like a bug out roll, a backpack, anything like that is going to be extremely useful in a survival outdoor camping situation. This is the Owl Mike. This has a 16 inch handle. This is a really good size hatchet. I like it because it has a 500 gram head. It's a heavy enough head to get a lot of pretty interestingly good jobs done. It splits logs like no one's dream. We had a smaller tree that was about 6 to 7 inches in diameter, and we were splitting this thing instantly. This thing was one stroke, the wood was splitting, and it was live oak. For anybody who's been down in Texas knows that oak is no freaking joke. This piece of fat wood, if you guys follow me on social media, I've seen this a lot on my page, especially on Instagram. This is resin infused, basically fat wood, from my buddies over at Production Hanger 51. They are the same company that make the fat rope sticks, or make a better version of them. But basically they take very soft wood and they infuse it with this resin and wax based substance to completely make this thing inside and out, all the way through to the core of the fibers, completely 100% impervious to the elements, very ignitable through any source of ignition, and waterproof basically indefinitely. Now, the benefit of these is they do not damage your knife edge, your axe edge, any edge like this, because this wood is so soft. It shaves off with simple scrapers from a ferro rod like butter. These things are literally, it feels like a scrape of butter. I mean, it will literally be shaven off with no work at all. And alternatively, you could use fat wood. But here's a recourse of fat wood. Now, fat wood is free if you're willing to do the work and harvest it yourself. But over time in storing that wood, it has one fatal flaw, is the fact that as wood dries out, it naturally gets a little bit harder. Now, luckily for us, pine wood is considered a softwood, and that's okay, and that's not too bad, but it will get a little bit harder, and we noticed trying to use the baseline of using our scraper from our ferro rod to scrape both those, it was actually a little bit harder and tackier and stickier to actually process that wood down, and we actually had to put in more work to get in less material for starting a fire than we did with that. This is the Jikari Puukko 140 by Varasturlaka, and they're out of Finland. And this thing is made from 80 CRV2 injection overmolded handle. You guys have seen a full review on this bad boy, and this thing is a champion. This thing was been able to actually process through live oak like no one's freaking business. There's a 5.5-inch blade. It's just under 3/16 of an inch thick, but this thing is robust. I dare say for the $29 price point, this is absolutely the Morta killer. But we don't want to overlook the sheath that came from our buddy, the Survival Smith. You guys have seen a few of his sheaths on our channel before. He's made us quite a few, and this was the one he made for the Jikari Puukko. And he did make this 100% to our specifications. He customized this completely. Personally, I'm not a super mega fan of danglers anymore, so I decided to have him take this Kydex rig and hook it with a really thick nylon webbing so it connect to my belt, so it would have some free flow and kind of hug around my leg when I'm actually carrying it, but it's not going to just slam and fly all over the place like a dangler. Now you will see it's got a really good snap in, really good fit. It comes out really nice. Now this overmolded stuff is very tacky and very grippy, so that's why it's going to be a little bit more stiff. However, if you want to check out his custom Kydex rigs, he does axes, hatchets, machetes, really big stuff, really small stuff, so definitely go check him out. I'll put his stuff down in the video description. But with all these tools being all fine, dandy, and great and all, well, you need a way to be able to keep them serviceable in the field. Now, with exception to the impulse hardened saws, now these things are designed to last for months and months and months, up to years, without even needing to change out the blade, assuming you haven't bound it and hasn't been bound in a piece of tree while you're cutting it off and you didn't pinch it off and break the blade. Outside of that, the teeth are designed to basically just last and last and last because the rockwool hardness is so high. But for your knife and your axe blade, for field sharpening, we have the guided field sharpener by WorkSharp. This thing, I've had this for like 5 years. I still have not found a more complete system for the outdoors than this. I like it. You got the leather strap, we have the 2 diamond plates, we've got the ceramic rods. If you have a fishing kit in your bug out bag, this will help you keep your fish hook sharp, and it keeps you on a pretty stable angle. That leather strap, I can't tell you how many times that has just saved my edges. Like, just after I use a knife or a tool in the field, just strap it on the leather strap and you're right back to perfect, and it keeps you from having to full-on sharpen your blade and reprofile it for quite a long time. We had a company called Stoner CNC, yes, Stoner CNC, where they make these custom ferro rods. I'm not sure where these ferro rods come from, but they're very soft, like a mesh metal. And for those of you who guys are educated out there, mesh metal is different than ferrocerium. Ferrocerium tends to have a higher iron and steel content inside of the fire steel itself, and it's a little bit harder. It's designed to have a longer lifespan. However, you're not going to get those crazy reactive sparks. A lot of us who like those very nice explosive sparks like mesh metal. It's very soft, and this is no exception. This is extremely soft. And a little trick we like to do with mesh metal that's really fun is if you can scrape it really slow, you'll take some of that ferrocerium off of the steel, some of the cerium, and you'll kind of put it into your tinder, and then when you make that strike like that, you already have stuff laid down on there that will kind of explode and react and bubble around it, and you'll actually be able to get a fire started much quicker than you would naturally. Now, they do offer a variety of handle styles and colors and patterns, so that's pretty cool. So if you're into, I would guess, some artisan versions of some fire steels with some pretty cool handles on it, I'll definitely drop them in the video description so you can check them out. Now we're into the budget round. For those of you guys who actually stuck around towards the end of the video, we've got the Schrade SEX2, which is also a representation for the Schrade SEX2L. These are some of the only budget-friendly options that we absolutely love, but it also could be traded out for the Gerber X7 hatchet by Fiskars. So if you're looking for a hatchet that is budget, but also using some more modern materials, I would say those are my top 2 favorites in the budget category. Additionally, if you can't afford Silky and you can't justify paying 50 bucks for a saw all day long, you won't be able to cut down full-size trees, but the Corona Razor 2 saw, 10-inch saw, works like a dream, 19 bucks anywhere all day long. And then for the knives, if 30 bucks is the high end of your knife limit, or you just don't have an appreciation for higher end knives, I would suggest basically get any Mora on the planet. This is the Mora 511. It will do the job. Like I said, it's not going to be as tough as the Varo Steleca 140. If you're going to invest in it, pay the money, go get it, or get a custom knife or a Bark River or something like that if you have the money. But if you, like I said, if you're budget tight and you want anything, basically Mora. And a little off topic is something we want to mention because we just got on the mail right in the middle of filming this episode, is this right here. It's a hat! But it's actually not any hat. This is actually the new cash cap by WAZOO Survival Gear. I told them months ago that their original cash cap with this poor sap that I've been using and probably went through the wash cycle like 6 times, it was kind of niche because you're basically advertising WAZOO and not everybody likes to do that. Some people, like everyday survivalists, like to be more gray man. They like to be more subdued and relaxed. So they came out with this plain Jane patch hat. I have a glow-in-the-dark American flag, but it has all the bells and whistles with the updated cache system in it, which is pretty freaking awesome. But doing a simple side-by-side comparison, you'll notice the cache system on this hat is a lot more substantial. We actually have a black mesh in here now, but it also has a fold-over sleeve. So if any things like important documents, extra cache, some survival tools that you decide to stick inside, has this overlapping flap in it, so it will allow you to stash some of that gear safely, and if your hat falls off, it's not going to slide down and just fall out of your hat and become cumbersome. So that extra sleeve was a very nice touch, but I love the fact that they actually went with a better fitting, solid, subdued black hat. Hopefully they'll come out with colors like Desert Tan and OD Green in the future. The winner of yesterday's Amazon gift card giveaway is Jeff Smith. Congratulations, Jeff Smith, you are the winner, so definitely contact us on the back end of our channel so we can get your contact details. But in conclusion, these are our awesome trifecta, a knife, axe, and a folding saw. This trifecta will help you process wood very effectively in the field. But that just about does it for now, and if you enjoyed my proper Woodsman tools, definitely throw this video a big thumbs up and share this out with your friends and family in your social media networks so we can keep growing, thriving, and making awesome videos for you guys. But that just about does it for now. Hope you guys have an absolute wonderful day. I'm out.